everyone, welcome to my class, and this is a second class together, and today I am bringing you a very fresh topic and another topic apart from the company law, that is audit and auditors. Okay, so chartered accountant must be knowing the value of becoming the auditors. Today we will be talking about the same, that can you become an auditor of a company? Do you want to become an auditor? What are the qualifications and what are the disqualifications that is there under the provisions of the act when it comes to become an auditor? This whole class is all about the auditor, becoming an auditor. So let's start our class, and before starting a class, please do share and subscribe and like my channel if you're liking my videos or you want me to upload more videos on the such topics like Companies Act and also the audit and auditors. So please do share and subscribe my channel, and do comment below my video if you find any kind of a doubt or the question rising in your mind while going through this video. Okay, I will be answering the same. So before starting the class, let me give my brief introduction that hi, I am CS Radhima Mishra, a practicing company secretary by profession. I'm your mentor and your educator for today. So let's start a topic, move forward. Okay, so can you become an auditor? Have you ever thought after proceeding with the CA course that can you become an auditor? Every chartered accountant is an auditor or not? Is that the question? Okay, so here is your answer. Why do you want to become a CA? Why do you want to become a chartered accountant? Why are you pursuing this case? Why are you pursuing this course? Why do you want to become a chartered accountant? Are you interested in finance? Generally, people know that becoming a CA, you will be dealing in the finance, you will be dealing in the audit, taxation, investment. Okay, these are the terms that we see under the balance sheets, or you can see we see under the course which we read in the chartered accountant, reading about the finance, about the accounts, about the audit, about the taxation, about the investment. So are you interested in these terms? If yes, then you are going in the right direction and you are going to become a CA very soon. Okay, now, okay ma'am, these terms are so fine. Let's see that how much salary I will be getting after becoming a CA. Many students of mine ask this question that ma'am, is the salary is great after becoming a CA? Should I proceed with this profession or not? See, CA is a very versatile profession. Okay, you can get the jobs in any of the fields in which you are interested into, whether into the IT, as an investment banker, or if you want to practice, or if you want to work in any big company of the India. Okay, salary depends on your experience and your knowledge update. See, this kind of a professional courses like CA, CS, CMA ask for your updation on the knowledge of the act. Okay, so it's very important to update your knowledge day by day while pursuing this course. Now, it's the last options. When we ask to the students, why do you want to become CA? Why? Because this course asks for such a lot of studies, and it asks for a lot of rigorous study you need to become a CA. It's very tough. 50% of the students only pass in this course, and why still you want to become a CA? Some students say, ma'am, koi option nahi, there was no option left. So I just chose the CA. But it's not. If you're choosing any profession, that will decide your future. So please wisely choose your profession, and if you're deciding to become a CA, you have to develop that interest in that profession in order to become a successful chartered accountant, having the great salary and also expertise in the finance, audit, taxation and investment. Okay, so now let's start. Who is an auditor? Okay, so we will be talking about in accordance with the Companies Act 2013. In the previous class, I told you about the Companies Act 2013. You must be thinking, oh ma'am, that was of the company law. Do the auditor also deals in accordance with the provision of accordance with the sections of the Companies Act 2013? I'll say yes. Okay, whatever the working of the company is been done, it is done in accordance with the Companies Act 2013. You cannot skip that particular act, whether you are in the profession of the CA or the CS or the CMA. So let's start. Who is an auditor? I want to become an auditor. I'm a chartered accountant. I'm the auditor of the company. Do you know who is an auditor? Do you know who is an auditor? An auditor is an examiner. Okay, just like your teacher, your supervisor, while you give your exam, supervise or examine the accuracy of the answers that you wrote in your answer sheet. So we can say that they are the auditor. Yes, they are the auditor, but we do not call it them as auditor because they are not under the section 139 of the Companies Act 2013 and they are not registered chartered accountant. So they are not considered as the auditor of the company. So an auditor is an individual who examines the accuracy of the recorded business transactions. Okay, well, you must have seen that the team of the auditors go to audit the balance sheets or the financial transactions in a company. Okay, so a person who is a chartered accountant by profession, okay, or who is also pursuing the chartered accountancy, and also under the articleship or the trainee under the respective chartered accountant, that can be also considered as an auditor. He goes to a company to examine the various financial transactions, and from there that person is termed as the auditor of the company. Okay, they are very much privileges also, there are merits also or demerits also becoming the auditor of the company, though that there is no as such demerit, there is only merits, and there is, so that is a very prestigious, or you can say that is a very privileged job to become an auditor of the company, because you are the supervisor, or you can say you are the examiner of all the major financial transactions of the company. Okay, so it comes under the Companies Audit and Auditor Rules 2014. So the question in the exam will also come from the section 139, and every section is related to a certain rule which is given at the end of your Companies Act 2013 book. Please do go through those rules also. Do not skip. If you will be skipping, then you won't be getting the numbers, and any of the question can come from that rule. Okay, so auditors are needed in order. Why the auditors are needed? Why you want to become an auditor? Because the auditors are needed in order to verify that processes are functioning as planned and that the financial statements produced by an organization fairly reflect its operation and financial results. You are going to examine the financial transaction, that whatever the transaction or whatever the cash flow has been conducted by the company, it has been conducted in a fairly means. No fraudulent activity or the misrepresentation has been conducted by the company. Otherwise, you will be giving the or raising an observation. Observation means it is a point that you will be raising against the company, that we have found these kind of observations under your financial transactions, that this is not being done in a fairly manner. Okay, so there are two type of auditor. Auditors are also of two types. One is the internal, one is the statutory. Okay, internal auditor, with an auditor which is employed by the company. Before conducting any external audit, company always conduct an internal audit. Just like your exam, before conduction of your board exam or any external exams, your internal examinations are held, the unit test or the half yearly exam. Why? To examine the student, just like that, to examine the company, that whether the company is going in the right direction or whether the company's financial transactions are correct in all means. That's why the internal auditor is being appointed by the company. That auditor conducts the audit of the company internally. Second come the statutory auditors. Who are the statutory auditor? They are the certified chartered accountant, or they are the certified team of chartered accountant which comes to the company from the external means and conduct the audit in the company. Okay, they are the external auditor which comes in the company to conduct the audit of the financial transactions or the certify the financial statements of the company. Okay, and also they They are certified chartered accountants, and they go through the procedure which is written under the in accordance with the Companies Act 2013, and also they follow the Indian accounting standards. Accounting standards are the granth, you can say. Indian accounting standards are the Bible of the chartered accountant. You cannot do, or you cannot conduct any audit without going through the Indian accounting standards. Okay, now come the qualifications. Okay, so what are the qualifications of becoming an auditor? How can I become an auditor of the company? There is only one and the foremost qualification, that is becoming a chartered accountant. If you are the chartered accountant of a company, then you can become the auditor of all the companies. There are certain limit of the companies for which you can become then auditor. Okay, so a chartered accountant which has become the chartered accountant within the Chartered Accountant Act 1949, or a firm having major partners as chartered accountant, or any chartered accountant firm can become the auditor of a company. Okay, disqualification of an auditor. Mark this as very, very, very important topic, because disqualification of auditor comes in your exam. Okay, see, any negative point, okay, the disqualification, you can say, or the demerits of any topic, the question comes from that, means that is mandatory. The question will be coming from this. Okay, so there are major chances of the question coming from the disqualification of auditor. Mark it as very, very important, and I will be telling you which point is also very important under this disqualification. First is body corporate other than a LLP. Okay, any body corporate other than a LLP, it means only LLP, a chartered accountant firm which is registered under the LLP, limited liability partnership, can only become the auditor of the firm. Second come an officer or employment of the company. If I am the employee of a company, how can I become the auditor of a company? They are only talking about the statutory auditor. How can I become the auditor of a company? If I know every financial transaction that has been conducted, how can I audit my own accounts? No, I cannot conduct. So an officer or employment of the company cannot become the auditor of the company. Third come a person who is a partner who is in the employment of a company. Same point. Fourth, this is the very, or you can say the most important point, and the objective or the subjective question will be coming from this point. Any person, partner or his relative, any person, partner or his relative holding any security of or interest in a company. Okay, if I am working in a particular company, okay, I am working in a particular company and I am holding the interest in a company. Okay, and my partner is a chartered accountant. He cannot audit in my company. He cannot audit, or we can say, or we can do the vice versa. If my relative is working in a particular XYZ company, okay, or he is a shareholder of that particular company, major shareholder of that particular company, I cannot audit the accounts of that company, or I cannot become the auditor of that company. Okay, why? Because he will be giving me all the informations before I will be conducting an audit. इंडिया में सेटिंग बहुत होती है भाई, बहुत होती है, ठीक है. To relieve from that, this point has been included under the disqualification of the auditor, that any person, partner or his relative holding any security or interest in a company. Last point, relative may hold security in the company of the face value up to 1 lakh. Okay, so if any relative is holding any security beyond 1 lakh rupees, value, face value up to beyond 1 lakh, then I cannot become the auditor of that particular company. But if he is holding below 1 lakh, below security below rupees 1 lakh, then I can become the auditor of the company. Understood? Any question? Please write your question in the comment box. I will be answering the same, or we will be conducting a question answer round, a live round very soon. Okay, I will be telling you the date. Next come the okay, this is the continuation of the disqualification of the auditor. Point 5, person or a firm having business relationship with a company. There should be no relationship between the company or a person or a company or a firm. There should be zero relationship. Then only the fairly audit can be done. Otherwise the पहली setting हो जाएगी, सब कुछ पहली setting कर देंगे. Okay, sir, you are going to conduct the audit in a firm, so these are these points. Please do not provide any observations when that's not. Person whose relative is a director or is an employment of the company. Person who is appointed as an auditor of more than 20 company. Mark this point. There is a certain limit. That a auditor cannot audit the company, cannot conduct the audit of the more than 20 companies. There are 20 limit. As a CA, you can only conduct the audit in 20 companies only. Exception. There is an exception. Exception is except the OPC small private having paid up share capital less than rupees 100 crore. Okay, if the exception, there is an exception that you can be appointed as an auditor in more than 20 company if that companies fall under the OPC small and private company having the share capital less than 100 crore rupees. That is a very big amount. Last point, person who has been convicted by the code of an offence and the 10 years have not elapsed from the date of such conviction. Under code, if any person who has conducted any offence or is convicted any code, he cannot do any activity. He cannot do any activity. Not an auditor, but he cannot do any activity. Okay. So next come the remuneration, general meeting. Remuneration, the salary. Okay, you say, no, ma'am, salary kya milegi? What will be the salary? You will be getting the auditor remuneration after conducting the audit in a company. Okay, just go through the balance sheets of the company. Under the indirect expenses, there is an audit fee provision mentioned that tells you about that what will be the remuneration of the auditor. Okay, so it shall be fixed by the company in the general meeting. Because the auditor, the remuneration is been decided by the members of the company, not only by the directors of the company but also by the members of the company. In case of the first auditor, because the first auditor is appointed by the board of directors, no member appoint the first auditor of the company. That's why the remuneration is also fixed by the board of directors. Okay, and the subsequent auditor is being appointed by the members in the general meeting. Subsequent means the continuation auditors after the first auditor. So that's why the remuneration is also decided by the members in the general meeting, and all the expenses which has been incurred by an auditor is all inclusive in the remuneration, or it is reimbursed by the company. So any expenses whatever the auditor occurs, khane peene jane aane ka, the company bears that all expenses. Okay, so now here come this is the last point, the signing of the audit report under section 145. The who will be signing the audit report? The balance sheet, which is very important. After auditing all the financial transaction, the auditor has to sign or generate the audit report, what the points it has found after conducting the audit in a company. So a person appointed as an auditor of a company, the qualifications, the comments, the observations shall be read in a general meeting and shall be inspected by any member of the company. Any observations, any qualifications means any negative point, any qualifications, any comment, any whatever the observation has been done while the conducting the audit in a company has to be written in the audit report in hand, and it has to be signed by the auditor of the company. Auditor is mandated to attend the general meeting and has a right to be heard at such general meeting on any part which concerns him as an auditor. Okay, so auditor needs to attend the general meeting where his interest is being lying. Okay, just like the audit meeting, audit committee meeting, the auditor is mandated to sit there and to discuss that what observation he has observed and what the qualification, if any, he has written in the audit report. So A very much thank you for today, for listening me, for looking over my video. Just let me know what the further topics you need me to teach. So meet you in next time with a new video, with a fresh video. Till then, keep on studying, and please go through my video once. And if any doubts, please do ask me in our comments. Like, subscribe, share my video for getting more interesting video ahead. Okay, bye, take care.